Hi everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the International AIDS Society and the Australian Injecting and Illicit Drug Users League, especially to Lina, Annie and Ali. You're working so hard to get a space or a right platform for a woman using drugs to express the challenges and the issue which we face from time to time. Thank you. So my topic is about sexual and reproductive health and rights. As we all know that in general, sexual health and reproductive right is a human rights applied to a sexually and reproductive. It is a combination of four fields: sexual health, sexual right, reproductive health, and reproductive rights. Reproductive health or a sexual health address the reproductive process, function, and system at all stages of life. Sexual and reproductive health and right of a female injecting drug users. The northeastern India states, especially Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Nagaland, report relatively a high HIV prevalence. The targeted interventions programs are supported by the Departments of AIDS and Control, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, are mostly delivered by the non-government organization to prevent the HIV transmission by injecting drug use in their main focus. And most injecting drug users are male, and the services are primarily tailored to meet their needs, which are not necessarily the same as those for women. Some strategies and activities have still to be identified and implemented by NGO wanting to improve their reach amongst vulnerable women who use drugs and alcohol. And the most problematic substance for women in my country is heroin, brown sugar, spasmoproxeforms, cannabis, and alcohol. And the most commonly identified health problems were primarily reproductive health and mental health. Other problems of a major concern include social exclusion, violence, children's welfare, and financial difficulties. The express service needs of these women are only a woman-integrated health services, a woman-only detoxification and rehabilitation services, a mental health services, a sensitization of mainstream health worker, free access of medicines, assistance to meet the basic needs, and a safe place to engage in sex work. Differences in the health status and risk practice among a woman using drugs. There are significant differences in the health status and risk practices of female injecting drug users as compared to male IDU. A woman who injects drugs experiences significantly like a higher mortality rate. When I say that a higher mortality rate, it means like some women, due to the pregnancy and HIV infected, because some healthcare provider, when they came to know that they are drug users or HIV, they neglect giving them a proper treatment. So some of the women, they just lost the baby within 2-3 days because the stigma and discrimination is quite high, especially in the health centers for a woman who use drugs. And increase a likelihood of injection-related problem, faster progression from first drug use to a dependency. Because a woman using drugs a female who use drug, it progresses faster than the male from drug use to a dependency. Because of that, a higher level of risky injection, because we, the woman using drugs or a female who inject drugs, we always avoid to go to search or to buy drugs or injecting paraphernalia. And we always used to share with our friends or partner or with a group of friends. And a sexual risk behavior and high rates of HIV. Because of that, a woman using drugs, they have a high risk behaviors and a high rate of HIV. Because when we talk about the sexual risk behavior, because we are a female, we are the receiver, and male are the giver. We used to call, like a glass, you pour water in the glass. If suppose a male is a bottle and a female is a glass, when you pour a water in the glass, then the water will be in the glass only. So like based on this, that we have to understand that we are the receiver, so because of that, we are more at risk. Limited access to health services. A gender-specific stigma decreases women's access to harm reduction services or any other healthcare services which they need. I think this point number one is a universal problem across the world. And number two, the measure of the client is male, and the services they provide are geared to meet the needs of a male. Fear of stigma makes them avoid DIC and dislike buying injecting equipment. Female drug users, because they fear of stigma and discrimination, so they avoid to come to the DIC, and they don't feel like also to go and buy stuff and the injecting equipment. And male partner may discourage the female from seeking prevention and treatment services, because most of the partners of the female injecting drug users, they always discourage the female to seeking prevention and treatment from the service center or from the service provider. Women are a minority of the IDU population. They are not always included in a relevant health program. Many harm reduction programs do not respond to the specific needs of a woman, such as reproductive health and care. It provides only a basic package of injecting supplies and condoms. It means like they think that a woman using drugs, they are just like kids. When they give out a chocolate or a sweet, then we are happy. That why we get chocolates or sweets. I mean, like I'm talking about in my country, like they just provide us a basic package of injecting supplies and condoms. If you look at this in my country, that when we talk about condom, we are running a FIDU program, but when you look at the condom, they provide us a male condom. So like this is what is just like they just give, so that they think that we are happy for that. So before, yes, we are happy that okay, we have a FIDU program, but now when we came this type of program, we had a lot of new things from other country, and then we came to know that this is not done. So like that, like in this way, like what I want to say, like give to us what is meant to us. You give us a male condom, what we'll do with a male condom? We are a female. So this is one thing, like they just give us a basic package. Why are female injecting drug users so vulnerable? A woman who uses drugs experiences this proportionate level of stigma and discrimination during a pregnancy and also as a mother. Some healthcare providers have been denied access to treatment and services to women who use drugs. A woman also suffer breaches of confidentiality relating to their drug use and their status, which can lead to violence, harassment, and family disconnection. This is what we found in the last 2 years in my country, that there's some female injecting drug users, that she get pregnant and she went to admit herself to the government hospitals. And most of the health service providers, doctors and the nurses. And then she at first place, she could not disclose that she is a drug user and at the same time she is HIV positive. So later on, when she disclosed to the doctor, and then the doctor started writing in that prescription sheet in the hospital, and the nurses, the ward boy and the ward girl, they have seen that she is a drug user and at the same time she is HIV positive. So based on that, she denied to give her a proper treatment. And then they neglect also to give medicines to the baby. So after 3 days, the baby died. But when we found to know that, and we went to meet her, and then when we found that just because that she's from the drug users community, and at the same time she is HIV positive, the healthcare centers, they deny to give them proper treatment. The stigmatized nature of women drug use, forcible removed from their home, ostracized by the family, friends, and community, and having removed their children from their custody. The natures stigmatized for us, or for women drug use, it's make us removed from home, most of them, and by the family, by the friends, and by the community, and having removed their children from their custody. Some of them, they remove their children also with their parents, and they remove for the mother from home. And not only that, is like through my experience, actually I was a national footballer, national woman footballer, but just because they came to know that I'm a drug user and I was disqualified from the tournament, from the group. So this is what I feel like that, because not only me who use drug, there are some men also in that, because I used to be in the Sport Authority of India. Some men also, we used to use drug together. But for male, I don't know, they don't know or not, but how come they know about me? But I was disqualified. So this is what I feel like, this is a nature of stigmatized for a woman using drugs. When we come into the sexual risk, a woman who uses drugs are often unlikely or unable to negotiate safe sex practices with their primary partner. A sexual risk-taking may be related to feeling of trust in relations, or may be culturally embedded in the gender distribution of power. Because in my country, we believe, or our culture is like man is, he have that high power. We don't have that equal. Don't have that gender equal. So because of this, even the partner, a female, even the husband, a female cannot negotiate or cannot tell him that to use condom, because we are at the lower, the male is at the top and the female is at the lower. So this is our culture. So it's very difficult for the women, to expose or to disclose their status. Infrequent use of condom by women who use drugs with a long-term and casual partners, and a correlation between inconsistent condom use and the sharing of injection equipment. Inconsistent use of condom between a woman using drugs and a long-term partner was infrequently, and sharing injecting equipment of needle syringe. Because of these reasons, a high-risk sex is more significant of HIV infection than a risky injecting practices in women who use drugs. Injection behavior and intimate partners violence. A woman who injects drugs are most likely to have a partner, clients, and friends who also inject, contributing to their elevated vulnerability. A woman exchange sex for drug use of other resources and exert a little influence over their partner's condom use. And a woman who uses drugs report a lack of knowledge on accessing sexual and reproductive health services and commodities. So, harm reduction program, OST, NSCP, STI clinic, ICTC, it's all there. But when it comes into for the FIDU, that we need to be a component, we need that some component that about that sexual health and rights. We should include that in the harm reduction. Because reproductive health and right is more important for a woman who using drugs. Women, when injecting with men, are more likely to be last on a needle, concerning the risk of HIV and other bloodborne viruses from the use of contaminated equipment. A sexual coercion is one of the forms of intimate partners violence most associated with the risk of HIV transmission. When I say that last on the needles, this is according what we found nowadays and what I have been in the last 14 years. Sexual and reproductive health and pregnancy. Pregnant drug users also face a major barrier to access a harm reduction and HIV-related services. Stigma and discrimination associated with the drug use during pregnancy result in many women keeping their drug use counsel, preventing them from accessing HIV prevention and treatment program, as well as preventing a vertical transmission of HIV. I'll just skip this. Health problem among FIDU. The most pressing health problem among FIDU were explicitly and implicitly associated with their dependence on drugs and alcohol use. They also complain of symptoms of withdrawals from drugs and alcohol, and consequently also associate that use of the drugs or alcohol make them feel better. A number of reproductive health problems have been reported, including unwanted pregnancy, leading to both abortion and birth of children, white vaginal discharge, irregular or absent menstruation, and STI, syphilis, and gonorrhea. I have to rush because there's no time. When a woman is suspected to have an STI, they often self-treat rather than suffer the embarrassment of seeking diagnosis and treatment from a health professional. A long period of amenorrhea were identified among a woman using heroin in particular, and irregular menstruation contributed to a late detection of pregnancy. In some cases of pregnancy, the identity of the father was difficult to ascertain, or the father refused to acknowledge the paternity, with the result that some women were single parent to their children. Back. Okay. A range of gastrointestinal complaints has been identified as problematic for female alcohol users, in particularly, especially a gastric, stomach problem, liver problem, hepatitis, lack of appetite, weight loss due to poor food intake, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, and vomiting. Drug overdose is also one health risk among the female drug users. Associated with all this, depression, stress, and tension are found among the women using drugs. We'll come to the conclusion. Harm reduction package for the prevention, treatment, and care of HIV among people who use drugs does not include contraceptive methods other than condom, pregnancy tests, pre and post natal care and prevention of vertical transmission of HIV. Adding this to the package could help a woman to inject drugs to better manage their sexual and reproductive health, thus preventing unplanned pregnancies and improving pregnancy's outcome, including through improved access to prevention of a vertical transmission of HIV. Women IDU face a heightened risk of HIV as well as other harm and special barrier in accessing healthcare. Sexual and reproductive health services, as well as special needs of a woman with small children or with a history of trauma, should be incorporated into the harm reduction and drug treatment service. Intervention should be developed to better respond to the specific need of women inject drugs, and government should take this need into account and formulated policy accordingly. Harm reduction program can be scaled up, but must be tailored to the needs of a woman. Thank you.